Hi friends, it's writing time today, and if you have your how-to story handy, remember to grab it. The first thing you always do is reread your story. Just check to see if there's anything you need to do to change, or if maybe you think you're done and you need to start a new one. If you notice, I've got a blank piece of paper today. I'm going to be starting a new one. But before I can do that, let me begin my lesson. Because today I want to teach you that once you know all the steps to writing an informational or how-to story, you need to learn to do all those steps much more quickly now. Because guys, you're almost first graders. You can do this. The best way to learn to do all those steps is to practice by writing more stories, more and more and more. And once you've completed one story, you move on to a new story. But also today, I want to teach you that one way writers write more is by setting goals for themselves. And this kind of goal is going to be a personal writing goal for you, so everybody's goal is going to be different. You can keep your goal for a long period of time, or you can change it with each story. It's up to you. It's your goal. And here are some examples of writing goals you can set for yourself. You can set a writing goal about sounding out tricky words and trying to do a better job doing that, making sure you're using a letter for each sound. You could decide you want to write for a longer period of time, and you might set a timer to help you achieve that goal. Or you might decide, well, with this writing piece, I want to make sure I capitalize at the beginning of every sentence and make sure all my other letters in my sentence are lowercase letters. You could set a goal about making sure you're leaving nice big spaces between your words. You could also have a goal where you want to make sure that all your words have a vowel in them, because we learned that every word must have a vowel to be a word. You could decide, well, maybe instead of just writing one sentence on the page, I want to get more sentences. I want to challenge myself to do that. Or you might decide, like we practiced yesterday with our diagrams being detailed, that you want to make sure that you have detailed diagrams and your labels are very precise on your picture. So guys, the goal for today is to start a new piece if you have not already, and to set you a personal writing goal. And if you're at home and you set one, you might write it somewhere on your paper, just so when you bring your writing to school or upload it for your teacher, they can see what goal you set for yourself as well. Okay, friends. Now, the first step for me to start a new how-to story is to think, what do I want to write about? What informational story? What is something that I know how to do really well, that I do it? Because I had some kids yesterday say, well, they wanted to write a how-to story on how to make cookies. And I said, okay, have you made cookies with your mom before? And they said, no. And I go, well, how can you write a how-to story if you've never done it? So that particular student said, I know how to fill my water bottle up here at school. And I said, that's an amazing story. And so they decided to write a how-to story on how to fill their water bottle up. I've had other kids decide that they wanted to write how to brush their teeth. Oh, one person is writing how to shampoo their hair. I thought that was really neat. Let me see. Oh, another one is trying to tackle this one, and it's really challenging, but I believe she can. How to do a cartwheel. Oh, and another one that I thought was neat is this person made Buckeyes for Christmas, and they wanted to write a how-to story on how to make Buckeyes, and I thought that was a good story. So, but I need to write a how-to story for myself. What would be a how-to story that would be good for me? I know how to make coffee. I'm going to write a how-to story on how to make coffee. Now, what goal? I'm going to write that at the top. Coffee, my coffee story. Because it's always nice to jot down at the top what we're doing, just so it helps me know what we're doing. What's my goal going to be for today? Oh, I know. I want to make sure that my diagram is detailed, that my labels are more detailed. So right here, I'm going to write for my goal, just for, so the teacher will know when they read it, the other teachers. Detailed labels. That's going to be my personal goal that I'm going to work on. So the first step is to think about your how-to story and what you're going to write about. Now, I need to get that story in my mind, and I need to tell my story across the pages by pointing and saying it. But I might not make any pictures today, and I might not write any sentences. That's okay. The first step is to create a plan of action, a plan for your story. So let me see. Step 1. I clean out my reusable coffee filter. Step 2. Ooh, this makes me think. Step 1, I clean out my reusable coffee filter and put it back in my coffee pot. Gotta have it back in there, it won't work. Step 2, I pour water into my coffee pot. Step 3, I grab the coffee canister and put scoops of coffee in my coffee pot. Step 4, I turn the on button to make the coffee. Step 5, now I can enjoy a nice cup of coffee. So now it's your turn, friends. Think of a new story if you haven't already. Make a goal and practice telling it across the pages. And I wish you all well.